Welcome to Moonlight Drift Stories, a place where your mind can rest and your dreams can wander through gentle, peaceful worlds. Settle in, take a deep breath, and let tonight's story carry you toward calm and sleep. Tonight's tale is a cozy bedtime fairy story about a floating island high above the world, where clouds turn into stairways, lanterns glow with memory, and time itself moves softly. When you're ready, let go of the day. Let's begin. In a quiet valley, where evenings smelled of mint and wood smoke, lived Mira, a gentle dreamer who loved collecting little moments of peace. She noticed the hush before rainfall, the first flicker of stars in puddles, and the way the wind hummed when no one else was listening. One grey afternoon, Mira followed a soft chime that seemed to come from nowhere, and found herself at the base of a hill she'd never seen before. At its top stood a stone archway, glowing faintly, filled with swirling silver mist. As she stepped closer, a staircase appeared, made entirely of clouds, each step round and buoyant. Mira hesitated, then placed one foot upon it. The step lifted her like a sigh. Up she climbed, through cool air that tasted of rain and starlight. At last, she reached a floating island above the clouds, lush, green, and wrapped in drifting fog. A sign waited by a birch tree, carved neatly. Welcome to the Cloud Quiet Isle. A cozy cottage stood nearby, its roof woven from cloud fleece. Mira knocked, and the door opened to reveal a woman with kind eyes and hair the colour of warm wheat. "Welcome," the woman said. "I'm Lynette, keeper of Threadbright Cottage." The island shows itself only when hearts need rest. Inside, shelves were filled with jars labelled Lavender Lullaby, Thistledown Sugar, Cinnamon of First Hearth. A kettle whispered quietly on the stove. Lynette poured tea that smelled faintly of courage and calm. "This place listens," she said. "Breathe, and it will match your rhythm." She handed Mira a tiny silver bell. If your thoughts grow loud, ring this. It reminds the air to be kind. Mira smiled softly. May I explore? You must, said Lynette. Return by nightfall. The lanterns awaken then, and they'll want to meet you. The island unfolded in gentle greens and pale blues. Mira wandered to a garden bordered by dew-bright hedges. Signs beside each plant read things like, "Whisper a wish to my leaves. Tell me something you're ready to let go." Mira knelt by soft blue blossoms. "I want to stop hurrying," she whispered. The petals quivered and opened wider, releasing a faint scent of rest. Nearby, a silver tree bore tiny, bell-shaped fruits. A sign beneath read, "Shake me, and I'll find your rhythm." When Mira touched its bark, the bells chimed slower and slower, until her heartbeat followed. At the garden's edge, a stone wall overlooked a sea of clouds. She sat, watching the horizon breathe. Somewhere deep inside, her mind finally went quiet. Beyond the garden stretched a bridge made of enormous feathers. Glowing faintly in twilight. A small wooden sign read, "Cross while thinking of a kindness you've received." Mira stepped carefully, remembering her grandmother's laughter, a neighbour's fresh bread, a child's wave. Each memory brightened the feathers beneath her feet. Halfway across, the air grew warm, wrapping her like a gentle hug. On the far side waited a fox. Not red, but silver-white, with eyes like morning leaves. "Hello," said the fox, bowing slightly. "I'm Kip. I guide visitors to what they need most. I think I need to find peace," Mira said softly. "And peace you shall find," replied Kip. "But first, you must learn to float." Kip led Mira to a small workshop built into a hill. Inside, a tinkerer named Gable was fitting silky fabric over a wooden frame. "Ah," Gable said, "a traveller in need of lightness." She handed Mira a delicate lighter with silver gears that ticked softly, like breathing in sleep. "Wind is a gentle teacher," Gable told her. "Trust it, and it will lift you." Mira ran forward and leapt from the hilltop, and the glider caught her like an old friend. She soared above the island, over glowing birch trees and a lake of mirrored sky. The world below looked peaceful, as if it were breathing too. When she landed, Gable smiled and handed her a small tin feather. "Keep this," she said. "When you forget how light you can be, hold it." Kip guided her to an orchard, glowing softly in the deepening dusk. Lanterns hung from every tree, round, teardrop, bell-shaped, glowing in many colours. Each one shimmered whenever someone spoke a kind memory beneath it. Kip pointed to a tree heavy with amber lanterns. "This one brightens for ordinary joys," he said. Mira whispered, "Tea with my father." Morning toast. The smell of sunlight on the tablecloth. The lanterns brightened warmly, flickering like laughter. Another tree held pale blue lamps labelled "For wishes that arrived late and still found you." Mira smiled and told the story of a friend she met years after she'd stopped searching. The blue light swayed gently, content. At last, they stopped beneath a single tree with soft silver lanterns. "This is the keeper's tree," Kip said. "Each visitor borrows one light to take through the night." A small lantern drifted down into Mira's hands, glowing pale blue. "Thank you," she whispered. Back at the cottage, Lynette served soup that tasted faintly of comfort and rain. When they'd finished, she handed Mira a slip of paper and pointed to the lantern. "Write a few thank yous," she said. feed them to the lantern before sleep. By morning, you'll wake lighter. Mira wrote slowly, for the clouds that held my steps, for the wind that carried me kindly, for the stillness that remembered my name. She folded the notes and placed them inside the lantern. Its glow deepened, not brighter, but warmer. Her bed was layered with quilts soft as sighs. Outside, clouds drifted past the window like sleepy whales. The last thing she saw was the lantern's light breathing beside her. Morning came gently, golden at the edges. Lynette poured tea that smelled like new beginnings. Before you go, she said, the island lets visitors send cloud letters. Messages written on mist. They reach whoever they need to reach. At a small table on a hill, Mira wrote 3 letters. To her grandmother, thank you for teaching me slow mornings. To her younger self, you'll find peace one day in the places above clouds. And to her future self, don't hurry the kettle. Kip nodded approvingly. Hold them up. She did, and the pages dissolved into silver mist that rose into the sky. They'll arrive, Kip said. Messages are sometimes for the hands that write them. As afternoon softened, Mira and Kip returned to the lantern orchard. She placed her borrowed lantern on the keeper's tree. It flickered once, a heartbeat of light, then settled among the others. Lynette pressed the silver bell into Mira's hand. When life grows heavy, ring this softly, she said. Let the air remember kindness. The staircase waited, woven again from pale cloud. Mira began her descent, heart full and quiet. Below, her valley gleamed like a dream she'd just left. At the bottom, the archway faded. Only the wind remained, carrying a hint of tea and sky. Home again, Mira set the silver bell on her windowsill. When the city grew too loud, she rang it once, and silence arrived, soft as snowfall. Each evening she wrote a few small thank yous and left them by a candle. The flame always seemed to lean forward, as if reading. Sometimes, when the clouds were low and kind, Mira walked to the hill. If she looked closely, she could almost see the first step of a staircase waiting in the mist. She smiled, whispering, "Not tonight, but soon." And every night, as sleep folded around her, she felt the cloud-quiet isle settle gently over her dreams. A place where peace waits patiently, high above the noise of the world. As the music fades and your dreams drift deeper, know that you are safe. You are loved, and this moment belongs only to peace. May your night be calm, your rest be deep, and your dreams gentle. Good night from Moonlight Drift Stories.